About 6 years ago, I completely quit running cold turkey to help with my anxiety levels, but the effects it had on my entire body were completely life-changing. So today I'm gonna be sharing with you guys the really major surprising changes I experienced once I quit running cold turkey. My name's Autumn. I'm a certified clinical nutritionist with my master's nutrition human performance, and today's video is sponsored by LMNT. More on them in a bit. Okay, the first was lower anxiety, which this was really the goal that I had with quitting running because I used to run a lot. I've always been active, I've always done sports, but when I first started my major fitness journey about junior year of high school, it was to complete my first triathlon, and I fell in love with triathlons. I ended up doing a marathon later in college, and obviously that involves a lot of cardio. Unfortunately, at the time, I did not have the education around how to properly create my workouts to make sure that I wasn't overstressing my body, because you can train for things like triathlons and marathons and not have overly excessive cortisol levels. Unfortunately, I wasn't doing it in that way. And when I was still in college and had less on my plate in general, the effects weren't as noticeable, but once I entered the workforce and started to having to balance out this high level of cardio with work, I really started to notice my anxiety levels just skyrocket. Because I was working, I obviously had less time to also focus on recovery from my cardio, so my cortisol levels were always just generally high and weren't able to come back down. I was essentially burning the candle at both ends with work and cardio. So through my research, as well as through my college education with nutrition, as well as becoming a certified personal trainer, I learned about overtraining and how running could be causing my higher stress levels. So I decided just to run an experiment and quit running cold turkey. And as a result, my anxiety surprisingly drastically improved. Okay, the second thing I noticed from there was my increased muscle mass, or just generally improved body composition. I was really small when I was running a lot. I never counted calories, I ate whatever I wanted, but the amount of running I was doing was essentially causing my body to waste away a little bit. As I mentioned, I wasn't cross training, so I wasn't really focused on helping to maintain my muscle mass, and because running can result in muscle loss, I just kept on losing more and more muscle. And muscle is so important for metabolic health, for metabolism, for bone health. And because I was younger, my metabolism wasn't really affected yet, but less muscle does tend to result in increased insulin resistance, which ultimately could increase my risk of multiple health issues later down the line, like heart disease and type 2 diabetes. Not to mention potential bone loss from losing muscle as well that could result in osteoporosis later in life. Now, after I quit running, I found it became so much easier for me to maintain and even increase my muscle mass, which ultimately resulted in better body composition. And it's because my body didn't have to constantly use its resources to fuel all of those long runs or all of those swims or all of those bikes, and instead could also dedicate some of that to repairing my muscle and free up some time to actually incorporate some muscle-based workouts too, which I've never really put on muscle easily. It's very hard for me to increase muscle mass, but I was able to much more easily actually increase my muscle mass after I quit running. Now, regardless of if you're running or you're strength training, it does tend to result in a loss of sodium and electrolytes. This electrolyte imbalance can make you feel tired or lethargic or low energy, or even just cause headaches. And because I'm active and like to incorporate different fitness goals, this is why I love today's sponsor, LMNT. LMNT is an amazing electrolyte company that was specifically created for athletes, intermittent fasting, and lower carb eating in mind. It actually contains the sodium, the magnesium, the potassium to help replace those lost electrolytes, all without any sugar, making a great option for wellness or weight loss goals as well. I love making sure that I have LMNT every day because it really helps to make me feel more energized and help prevent some of those negative effects of an electrolyte imbalance like muscle cramps. I take LMNT after my workouts. I take it with me when I travel or when I go to the zoo or pretty much just like anywhere. They come in these really easy, convenient packets, so I can add LMNT into one of my waters whenever I need it. And right now, LMNT is offering my viewers a free sample pack with any order. That's 8 single-serve packets free with any LMNT order. It's a really great way to test out all 8 flavors, so you can get yours at drinklmnt.com/autumn. It is only available through my link, so make sure to check out drinklmnt.com/autumn. The link will also be in the description down below. Okay, the third thing I noticed after I quit running was that I was getting a lot better sleep, and it was easier to fall asleep. Now, historically, I would always have a really hard time falling asleep. It would take me like 30 to 60 minutes to actually fall asleep and then stay asleep. And because I quit running, I was walking a lot more because I still wanted to be active. I still wanted to exercise and still get a lot of the same benefits of that movement that running provided, but without some of those negative side effects. So as a result, I was walking a lot more. And this also meant that I was walking a lot outside. I'd walk in the morning, I'd take a lunch break and go walk outside. I'd also walk in the evening to take my dog out to go to the bathroom. So as a natural side effect, my eyes were getting exposed to all the different light levels throughout the day, the morning, the afternoon, afternoon and the evening. And this exposure to different light levels also helped to balance out my circadian rhythm, which means my body was able to actually know that it's daytime and also when it was nighttime, so that when it was nighttime, my melatonin levels could naturally increase and I could more easily fall and stay asleep. And obviously, better sleep resulted in me feeling a lot more energized the next day, which is always a plus. Okay, the fourth thing I experienced when I quit running is that I had a lot less sugar cravings. Running and running culture tends to focus a lot more on higher carbohydrate eating to fuel longer runs, and eating a lot of carbohydrates, a lot of sugars can result in a lot higher blood sugar spikes and then a lot lower blood sugar dip. This essentially makes a roller coaster ride with blood sugar levels, and when we get that dip is when we experience an immediate need for some type of sugar and tends to cause mood swings, which results in that really fun hanger. And I talked a lot in previous videos of mine about my sugar addiction and the steps I took to beat my sugar addiction, which if you want that video, you can check it out right here. But these unstable blood sugar levels was largely what was causing a lot of my really intense sugar cravings. And once I quit running and the higher carbohydrate diet that running tends to involve, my blood sugar levels became a lot more stable and I didn't get these really big highs and lows and that immediate need for sugar. Plus, walking is more of a fat burning exercise, which just means it's lower intensity, so our body preferentially uses fat as fuel instead of carbohydrates, so it doesn't really pull from blood sugar levels and helps to keep them more stable as a result. Now, the fifth thing I experienced was an improved mood. Now, to be fair, this was a downstream effect of not just removing running, but also adding in walking, because I wasn't overtraining with running, so I wasn't getting those really big high spikes of cortisol levels, so my anxiety improved. I also didn't have those unstable blood sugar levels, so I wasn't feeling hangry all the time, and I was spending more time outside, which just helps to further lower those cortisol levels. So because of all that, it just resulted in me being an overall happier human. Now, since then, I have reincorporated some running to get the cardiovascular benefits, the VO2 max benefits, but I've done it in a way that I'm not overtraining my body, because there are definitely benefits of incorporating like running or swimming or cycling, but the way I was doing it before with excessive running and not allowing my body to rest was not conducive with all of my goals. So if you do like running or swimming or cycling, you definitely don't have to give it up. In fact, there are some really great benefits to it when done the right way, which if you guys want to check out how I formulate my exercise and my workout routines to get the benefits of all the different types of exercise, you can check it out with this video next. Also, if you're new to my channel and you love this science-backed information, make sure you subscribe right here. Come out new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next video.